Hey everybody, my name is Jaxon Coulbourn, host of the Music Hall, Thursday 7 to 10, future station manager. I am here to show you some of my physical media collection. My first collection, I told Mia I would go for something very niche, but I lied. My Tyler, the Creator collection. I have a lot, not as much as I want to, because I'm still missing Goblin, Chromacopia, and Bastard, but that's not one I'm really looking for. I'm also missing his Christmas album, which is not something that's really selling anymore. First is Wolf. This album dropped in 2012, kind of his start to popularity, because back then, I mean, he was really popular on the internet, but he didn't get the critical acclaim that he did until this album. Alone is one of my favorite rap songs of all time. You have songs like Tamale, which is very vulgar, but one of my favorite songs of all time as well. I saw him live and he performed that song and I almost cried. It was awesome. I almost cried the whole performance, actually. He played IFHY featuring Pharrell, which is one of, if not my favorite song of all time. Not my favorite Tyler album, but IFHY, especially the music video, one of my favorite pieces of media of all time. Next up, we got my favorite Tyler album of all time. This is not an official version. This is a Euro import because I bought this in 2023 and he released the 10-year anniversary this past year. I didn't get my hands on that yet. Maybe sooner or later. Pilot is my favorite song off this album. Probably my favorite Tyler song of all time. Keep the O's is really underrated. It's featuring Pharrell. Most people hate that song. I don't know why. Actually, I get why. It's very weird, but it's really good. Not a lot of people like Cherry Bomb, but what they did like was this album right here. It's totally different than Cherry Bomb and Wolf. Much more vulnerable, much more personable, much more real. Tyler likes to play characters in most of his albums. This one is him. Kind of like what Chromacopia is, but less of a character. This is really just him. Really good front to back. See You Again is most popular songs of all time before Chromacopia dropped, and then like him became popular. And Droppin' Seeds by him and Lil Wayne. That's one of my favorites of all time. November is really good. Enjoy Right Now Today, which is one of the first songs I ever played on air. It's clean, you can play it. Featuring Pharrell, he's just kind of like mumbling in the background. Igor, obviously everyone knows this album. It's one of the most popular selling vinyls of all time. Really impressive work from Tyler here. Hated this album first listen. I was 12 years old in 2019 when this dropped. Liked it, didn't love it, and then it grew on me throughout COVID and I was like, wow, this might be the best album of all time, actually. So I'm sorry for any other opinion that I ever had beforehand. Tyler is my favorite artist of all time. I say of all time a lot, don't I? All time, of all time, of all time. Igor.
You were 12 in 2019.
Yeah.
That.
And then after Igor, he released Call Me If You Get Lost. This is completely different from Igor. A rap mixtape featuring DJ Drama, also featuring artists like NBA Youngboy, Tizo Touchdown, 42 Doug, Damo Genesis, which is one of his early collaborators. This is a mixtape. He calls it a mixtape. It's not an album, it's a mixtape. It's an album, but he calls it a mixtape. Whatever he wants, you know, it's his album. Tyler Coma, Sir Baudelaire. I'll say whatever you want. Seeing this be performed live was awesome. This really sparked my interest in strings, foreign music, you know, kind of like the Geneva, Switzerland aesthetic, French waltz, stuff like that. Next up is my indie pop rock, indie rock collection. First few that I want to highlight are all by Men I Trust. First Men I Trust album was introduced to me through Spotify recommendations. This is Uncle Jazz. I found this in 2020. This album is perfect front to back. Love this thing to death. After that, they became one of my favorite bands, so of course I had to buy two more. Second album that I heard is the Untourable album. Of course they toured it and I saw them live. And then they dropped two more projects after that last year. One in March, one in May. The one in March, sorry, but I hated it. The one in May was beautiful front to back, 10 out of 10. I can't say this. It's Ecus Cabalus. They're French Canadian. It's really good. Next up, I named the song Where Poly People Learn to Read by Gus Dapperton. This dropped in 2019. Found him around the same time I found Men I Trust. My Favorite Fish, which track 8 off of the album, is one of my favorite indie songs of all time. Check out Gus Dapperton. Mac DeMarco, he dropped this album last year. This is called Guitar. Would you guess that all the songs are him and an acoustic guitar? No, you wouldn't have. A lot of good tracks on this album. I kind of bought it impulsively, played it on air. So if you like Mac DeMarco, once again, listen to my show. I don't care how much I'm gonna do self-promo here, guys. You gotta listen to my show. It is what it is. Next up, we got Dejan, Baby. This dropped last year as well. I saw him last year live in Philly at the Met. It's a really good album front to back. Loyal and Marie is one of my favorite R&B, indie R&B songs. Last but not least, for my indie collection, or at least the ones I wanted to show you, Songs and Instrumentals by Adrienne Lenker. This dropped in 2020, peak COVID. She went to a cabin, I think in Minnesota or Missouri, somewhere in that realm, some random state. Adrienne Lenker is one of the best songwriters of our generation. If you like Elliott Smith, Big Thief, which she's the lead singer for, please check out this album. It'll change your life. Super emotional, vulnerable, makes me cry sometimes. When I'm sad and I'm on air, I'll play this. Listen to my show. This one's a kind of miscellaneous before we get to my rap collection. This is an Orchid album. It's a compilation of a bunch of their songs that they had throughout the 90s. Scrams, Screamo stuff, Angela Davis on the cover. What more could you ask for? I'm not a big fan of Screamo and Scrams in general, but this album it hits different. There's a lot of 1 minute to 40-second songs on here that go directly into more distortion and screaming and loudness, and hard to play in my dorm, but I will anyways because I don't care about noise complaints. Sorry. So, rap collection. I have too much rap in my collection, but I decided to grab some statement pieces to show you guys. First one is album from Action Bronson. This is Only for Dolphins. So this album has the ocean aesthetic, and he raps about food and the ocean and the weather and the aesthetics of the beach. And Action Bronson is a really good rapper. He's been around for a very long time. And he also has a show because he's a chef. Next up is an album that I covered on my deep dives this semester. This is Mad Villainy by Mad Villain, aka MF Doom and Madlib. They come together to make the duo Mad Villain. This album came out in 2004. It's one of the cornerstones of underground hip-hop and hip-hop in general. MF Doom is one of the best lyricists that rap has to offer, rest in peace. And Madlib is one of the best producers to ever come out of hip-hop. Listen to this album if you haven't. Please, it'll change your world. This is not a real, authentic vinyl. I promise you I did not spend $5,000 on this vinyl because that's how it usually costs. Pray for Paris by Westside Gunn, released in 2020. This really sparked my interest for the new wave of underground rap. It's kind of like luxury rap. Westside Gunn is a part of this group called Griselda. It features a lot of artists, but the main are Westside Gunn, Kanye the Machine, Benny the Butcher, El Camino, there's Boldy James, there's a bunch of artists in the collective of Griselda. This is definitely my favorite album from him. It features Joey Badass, it features Tyler, the Creator, it features Conway the Machine. Very good luxury rap album, sample heavy stuff, features samples from The Alchemist, Derringer. This album I got last year. This is Memoirs in Armor by Navy Blue, Sage Elsesser, who's known as a rapper under the alias Navy Blue, but also a professional skater, poet, stuff like that. This album, you can see by the aesthetic, is very surreal. The sample-heavy instrumentals, very vulnerable in a way, very soundscapey. I really recommend this album. I covered The Sword and the Soaring by him, which dropped last year, but this album is very good as well. It's a bit shorter, but very, very good. I got this in person at the Artist of the Century tour from Mike, who I'll talk about later. He did 71 shows. His last stop was Brooklyn, New York. It was his 71st show. He was very, very drunk, very, very, very emotional. It was an amazing show. There were about 15 openers. He was one of them. One of my favorite shows I've ever been to. This is The Alchemist. This is This Thing of Ours. The Alchemist is a legend in underground hip-hop, abstract hip-hop, specifically one of the best producers of all time, if not the best producer. In my book, he is the best producer. It features Earl Sweatshirt, it features Navy Blue, it features Mike, it features Maxo, Pink Sifu, Sideshow, all of my favorite rappers, and it's very sample heavy. Most of them are drumless loops. As you can see, there's a very clear aesthetic, and it fits the aesthetic very well. If you listen to this album, this is how it sounds, I promise you. Side A are all of the tracks with the rappers, and side B are all of the instrumentals, so you get to listen to both. It's really fun. I guess the segue off of that, this is Voir Dire. This is a collab album with Earl Sweatshirt and The Alchemist. Earl Sweatshirt is one of my favorite rappers of all time. The Alchemist is obviously my favorite producer of all time. Them together create this beast that I can't even explain. I love this album to death. One of my favorite rap songs of all time is My Brother the Wind, which is featured on this. Only the physical version though, on streaming it's not featured at all. So, sorry. Only I can listen to it, not you, unless you get this. You should do that. It's really good. It fits the aesthetic. It's very simplistic. It's very poetic. Earl raps like a prophet. It's really weird. Like, what he's saying to you is really sticking. Mike is also featured on this album, specifically the song Century, which is one of my favorite rap songs of all time as well. Check this thing out. Also by Earl, we have Live, Laugh, Love, which dropped in August of last year. An album that I could not stop playing on air last semester. Features a bunch of great stuff, a lot of production from Earl, a lot of production from other people. The aesthetics were done by Navy Blue, which was Sage Elsesser, Memoirs and Arbor, which I talked about earlier. Infatuation and Forge go back to back on this album, tracks 2 and 3. One of my favorite 2-song runs of all time. They fit perfectly. Earl Sweatshirt is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Finally, talking about my favorite rapper of all time, Mike. I struggle to obtain his albums because they're very limited edition. Rappers in the abstract hip-hop realm like to sell their albums for a lot of money and very limited copies. People like Mac Homie, Westside Gun, Griselda, Bodie James like to sell vinyls as art pieces, especially Mac Homie. He sells his vinyls for a couple grand a piece. These are not a couple grand. If they were a couple grand, I would not have gotten them. I got this one when the album dropped. Showbiz dropped in January of last year. This was my album of the year. It looks a bit different than what the streaming cover looks like, but I love this thing. Don't you? Look at it. It's like you can, it's cut out. I don't know how to explain it. What the inside looks. It's very vulnerable and personable to him. This album is about his experiences running through the showbiz, effects that it can have on financial well-being, personal well-being, addiction, stuff like that. Really good, very sample heavy. Most of the production is from Mike himself, with some slight production from Surf Gang. And speaking of it, this is the live version. He did an NPR Tiny Desk, very, very, very good, very, very emotional. At one point he cries during the performance. It's really good. Mike is a very emotional man. He's very big too. He saw him once in person in New York. I was way too scared to talk to him because he was with his friends and he's tall and I'm like this in comparison to him and most people. Yeah, he's like 6'4", but 6'8" in my opinion, right? Big and his style is really cool. I love this cover. It's really cool. This is one of my favorite parts of the physical version of it. It's really cool. It's all of his friends, all the people that he worked with on the NPR Tiny Desk version of it. Artist of the Century, Showbiz, NPR Tiny Desk. If you like any of the music that you heard throughout this whole video, please check my show out this Thursday, 7 to 10 p.m. on WIXQ 91.7 FM. If you like music like this, Wolf, Call Me If You Get Lost, Igor, Flower Boy, I have been covering and doing deep dives on albums that are inspired heavily by Tyler, the Creator, as a person, as an individual, as an artist. People like Garrett Sparrow, Zach Valeri, and this Thursday I am doing an interview with Rohrer, who dropped Teddy's Headphones Volume 1 as well as Bushwa last year, and we're going to be doing a deep dive, both of those projects this Thursday with a special interview in between. He's British. If you like British people, check it out. It's really cool. I'm talking to a British person. I don't really do that ever. Listen to the Music Hall, follow WIXQ everywhere that you possibly can, and bye-bye.